Roll for Crit here, and we're here to talk about a new release that was announced from Bandai. It is the Godzilla Card Game. If you can't guess, it's a card game that uses the Godzilla property. And from what I can tell, because when I first heard this, I'm like, oh, it's going to be like another TCG. But this is actually sort of just a base set. I think would be more similar to like Level 99's card games, the multiple ones they have. It uses something called the Chrono Clash game system. And this system was invented by Ryan Miller, who worked on a bunch of other card games. But this is not the first one in their series. The other one being a Naruto and the Naruto Boruto card game, which is about his kid. I can't believe Naruto would name his kid something so similar. But I digress. That's supposed to come out, I believe, this June or July. So tournaments are going to start for that. And Godzilla is supposed to be more near the fall or end of the year. The way the system works is you have like a cost for cards, and you have a bar, so as you spend that many, but as soon as you hit 0 and go over to like what would be -1 for you, that's +1 for your opponent. So you actually have a back and forth of gaining energy and then playing cards, and that's when turns switch over. The ways to win, it seems like either A, you attack an opponent when they're undefended, which reminds me a bit more like Versus from Upper Deck. Or you complete, I think this is for the Naruto one. I don't know if it's the same for Godzilla. It said 4 quests. So I assume you have sort of like a sidebar thing. And there are going to be tournaments. I assume it's just, you can mix the cards that come in the base set to make your own set. I think Godzilla, they said it comes with 4 pre-made decks. They showed off a big variety of, not the American Godzilla, all the Japanese Godzillas characters. I'm like, Godzilla from 1984, like 1993 MECHAGODZILLA. So I'm curious how many different monsters we're going to see and how it actually will play.
Right. So the base game, as you said, comes with 4 pre-made decks for you. And what I'm not sure about, from what my first thought when I saw the image, they put out this brief trailer that is mostly just some animation, but it gives you a little bit of a look at the cards as well.
I mean, you've probably seen it now as you've been talking.
Yes, you've been watching it. You've been watching it 20 times to fill the space. It looked like each deck was built around a character. So like one is Godzilla 1984's deck, but maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's just happens to be the top card. And because I'm just trying to figure out what would be in those decks that would correspond to just Godzilla. Like, is one card just a generic attack type of card that Godzilla is using, or is one card his laser breath, or are you playing like multiple characters from a different?
Well, when looking at, they show how the game works like a little bit. They only show Naruto cards. All the cards they show are characters. They don't show like a Rasengan. I'm trying to think of what the different weird techniques they have. Like everything's just a person. So. But Naruto has a much bigger, for lack of a better word right now. Yes, that's the word. Cast, thank you, I think. Than Godzilla. Or at least in the movies. I think you can stretch out more if you go into the TV shows and stuff. You could do teams. There's, the Earth monsters, which would be Godzilla, Anguirus, Mothra. They're sort of just the titans that are on Earth. And then, there's the aliens, which would be like King Ghidorah, Gigan, stuff like that. So you could do sort of team battles.
They did show off a bunch of other in the trailer. They have Destroya, Mechagodzilla.
No, I when they showed Jet Jaguar, I'm like, okay, they're willing to go far, because that's one I think a lot of people would like to brush under the rug.
Right, but he's got his fans, right? Well, I mean, I think you're a big Godzilla fan, and you've lamented often the fact that there isn't a good Godzilla tabletop game. This makes sense to me. We're big fans of the legendary card system, and there's also the Cryptozoic deck building system, and I feel like that, this is a different kind of thing. It doesn't sound like it's deck building, but I think that sort of idea, or like you said, the level 99 games, where it's a card game, you're battling, you can get the different characters, maybe they release different packs as time goes on. I think that could work really well for a property like Godzilla. I think that makes sense. Well, the only other thing I will say that is, maybe a little bit cynical, but being published by Bandai, I know that the games that I'm familiar with, they did the Uncharted board game and the Resident Evil deck building game, and nothing against those games in terms of mechanics, but they do tend to be a little bit cheap feeling in terms of the production quality and the materials. It's a bit of a bummer. One other thing that I'll also say, which is the fact that it's being adapted to a system that's already in place. It sounds like it will work well, but it probably isn't as ideal as a ground-up game built for Godzilla. You know, that would be the dream, right? That they really go all in on it.
Look, sometimes with certain fandoms, you'll take what you can get.
yeah. I hope that it's a good fit. Like we said, we'll probably see this later in 2019. $49.99 is the price for the base. And it comes with those 4 pre-made decks, and it said 4 pre-made decks, and there's tournaments, so it sounds like you're going to be able to also custom make your own decks after the fact.
I mean, I assume that's what it's going to be, and we should mention, I'm sure if we've seen it in the video, but the image they show for when they say there'll be tournament promos is the Shin Godzilla, which they didn't show anywhere else, and in case you're curious, that would probably be in the tournament packs, which you can get rewarded at all the different levels. And I think the top level is a playmat, they say, from the Naruto one, so I assume same for Godzilla, which you can sort of see an image. I think we found one, but I don't know if it's just a random mock-up because they don't look that great. So We'll see.
We also see they're going to have some giant-sized cards in there.
I mean, you got it. These are Kaiju.
24 giant-sized cards, to really show them off. So, we'll see. We'll see what it brings, what kind of flair it has. Let us know in the comments. Are you a Godzilla fan? Were you a fan of the latest movie and you're excited to play this, or did you not like it and you want this to remind yourself of better days? Or regardless, are you just a big monster fan in general? What do you think about the Chrono Clash system? If you've had the chance to try it out, let us know, because we're interested to hear that kind of thing. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Will.
And this is Roll for Crit.
We want you to like and subscribe, and if you have the chance, take a look at our Patreon.
Thank you for being a friend. Subscribe to our channel and back again.
Okay.